So I'm going to quickly give you the theme for this week. So we'll, go over one of the thing I'm like thinking of doing because it's so fascinating how people hear differently. This is like a jokey kind of therapy I'm going to do with you. Because people think from their space of their experience in the past, and they hear stories. I never even realized 2 and 2 equals 4 until I'm gonna explain myself to you. And so overall, when I'm talking to people, they hear differently what I'm saying. First of all, so I had a patient yesterday, or maybe it was day before yesterday, who came for industrial accident. This guy was injured in the workforce and his pain was not addressed. So I'm telling him, in injury, it's very important the first 6 weeks they address the pain, otherwise it gets hurt, and the hurt becomes worker comp issue. But unfortunately, worker comp, they don't address the pain for the first 6 weeks.
Right.
So that's how they end up in disability. But I cannot fight the system.
Yeah.
But then the pain is because of acute swelling. See, when the stretch of the skin is too much, that's what causes the pain in the first place. And so you need to swaddle. So I'm telling him, just like when you give birth, they swaddle the babies. Same thing, you wrap first. This is the way I think. I make my life very simple by using terms.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, I was telling him, now he's 2 years after injury and he's in pain. So I'm telling him, now the best way to approach this would be, the first thing is to change so you have more oxygenation to your tissue. I said either you can do food as medicine, because the Hippocrates had 2 parts: do no harm, which many people are very familiar with. But the other thing he said was, food is thy medicine. Nobody listens. So food is thy medicine means you need to improve oxygenation to the tissue, because if you put acid in, you're going to burn. If you put alkali in, you're going to heal. So they found just grass step, that's why grass drink, chloral, which is one. That's why Japan and all they do.
Right. Yeah.
Chloral, grass tip, wheatgrass juice and other stuff. They found it actually heals. But the one my favorite is Haritaki, HARITAKI.org, because they found it improves oxygenation to the brain, but also all tissue levels. So it improves oxygen to the tissue. So that's my first recommendation, to change your diet and less carb, more fat, and amino acids. They found
carbs are horrible,
because the carbs actually creates more pain. But whereas when you use less carbs, especially when you're healing, this is my number one is food is thy medicine. I give you food solution. Number 2, I told them, for reason for pain is you need to understand how to address
I'm in so much pain. You must be,
So he had this knee torn meniscus and stuff. There is something called melt method. The melt is just a roller you use on the lower back. For the lymphatic, because what happens is your plumbing is lost, right? You swell. So how do you take out the plumbing back to the heart? The fluid has to go so it can breathe, right? So you need to relieve the blockages on top. So I'm telling him, you need to do melt method. And the third one is, I told him, light therapy. Whether you can go sit in the sunlight or put the LED lights. Very simple. So after we talk for 45 minutes, he tells me nobody can touch, so no way I can wrap it. I said, if these 3 instructions you didn't hear, you came up with the wrapping as an answer, what were you listening to for 45 minutes?
That's
right?
So
I'm thinking, maybe I should talk in a way. I'll give them a video lesson every week. And I'm going to tell them what was the main theme that was discussed. Because I want to know what they hear.
Right.
Sometimes I'm thinking,
they don't even retain too and remember. No,
but I'm saying, what the heck are they hearing? Because I didn't even discuss anything about swaddling. I was just telling him originally. Now we were talking about 2 years later. Am I the idiot or?
No, not at all. These pigeons too. That is very interesting. It is
but
funny.
That's not even him.
Right.
Many people are doing it to me.
A
So
lot
I'm
of
like
people
saying,
in the world do it. It's kind of human nature.
so I'm like saying, okay,
behavior.
from now on, I'm going to create a theme for that week. We're going to just say, are you guys paying attention to what I'm saying? Because sometimes I believe people are paying attention, but they have their agenda they hear from. Okay, this being said, the next thing is the joke, right? It is coming from me because the joke is on me now. So I was hearing a story, and this is like two-part story. The first part is I eat meat. Okay.
You do? I didn't think you did. Okay.
I originally grew up never eating meat, but when I came to America, I screwed up.
Yeah, you stood up. You gotta. Yeah.
So now it's hard. But the weird part is, right. So my priest is telling me a story, and he was saying to me, it's so interesting how we hear. So I come across this story, the goddess of nutrition. Her name is Anna Purni. Anna means nutrition. Purni means completion. So the nutrition completion means it sometimes we have hunger in the heart.
Yeah.
Like, actually in addiction they call it in the realm of hungry ghosts. We are needy.
Yeah.
But that's not belly hunger. Sometimes your heart is hungry, your mind is hungry. So hunger could come from many levels, So we don't know which hunger it is we are interesting. But so this story goes, I was talking about the goddess of wisdom who was she came across the saint and who wanted her to follow him. So she wears jingles only on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And so she says to him, I'll follow you, but one of the rules is you'll never look back. And so he agrees. But then, she wears the jingle. So the right side is female, left side is male.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of nuances. So at some point, he wants to test him. So the jingle stops.
Yeah.
So he couldn't contain himself. So he looks back and she reproaches him with her eyes. And she says, remember I told you not to look back? She says, I cannot follow you anymore. And he begs her to forgive him. So she says, as a wisdom, I'm going to always come back to you. But she says, this place I stood is a place I'm going to nurture, so you come back to me. And also the place I'm going to give you abundance, so you feel enriched.
Mm-hmm.
But as wisdom, I'll always follow you. Kind of makes sense, right? My word you take with you for another week, right?
Right.
So then this guy, right, the saint, I'm a clairvoyant.
That's
so
awesome.
I came across another, a high priest, head priest in my temple. So I was telling him about the story, how I felt about the story. I'm doing anklets and stuff. So he was telling me, do you know there is a prayer that he wrote afterwards, which tells your body is the home of God, and just by inviting him in, you don't even need to pray.
Exactly.
So I said, oh, I love that prayer. Then my body's home of God. So I'm trying to learn his prayer, and he's so protective of his information. He's not releasing it to me, so I keep forgetting the main
verse.
Because it's easy for me to peek into their information,
okay.
in the higher level.
Right.
But he always puts holes where I needed the holes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I couldn't read the whole information. He's a trickster. So
I'm to come back for more.
God. And then I was telling him, I said, for some reason, I'm having a hard time remembering. So the priest says to me, that guy was very full of himself. He said, as a saint, he wouldn't pray if by chance that energy being looked a little bit not well put together. So essentially, it seemed he pretended he's above all, and he have a big crowd following him.
Right.
Like a pope.
Mm-hmm.
So God himself appears in front of him, and his partner. I don't know whether it's his wife or his partner. I couldn't tell the nurturer, the goddess of nurturing, whether she's his wife or she's his. I don't know what role they play in that scene.
Did he give him the humble
But the thing is,
you should be humble.
The thing is, she has dogs with her, and she has a bucket of meat, and he says, so the saint immediately looks at them and he's coming out from his bathing station, and he tells, he doesn't say anything, but his subordinate, let's say like Jesus, one disciples, right? So the disciples of him say, stand away, our master has to pass through. So God says to him, do you want the body to move, which is always impure? Or do you want the conscious to move, which is always pure?
Yeah.
You know, that's when he realizes it was God and he falls in his feet.
Yeah.
So I am recanting this story to my other priest, okay? Like the head priest I learned from. And I was so thrilled. So I'm going and saying, oh, this girl had the bucket of meat that they were eating. Because I'm a meat eater.
You went right.
It's like, so
you go right in. That's cute. That is adorable. You are too funny.
So the priest says, hold on. He says, that's not the way the story goes. He said she was feeding the dog.
And you were eating the meat. That's so cute. It's the simple things too. And that's so much meaning.
That's when I realized, oh my God, this is the way I hear.
That's funny.
And then, like, you know, so there is this famous avatar. I'm like saying, oh my God, it was hilarious. And then afterwards, I came to like a space in me I needed to heal. I had this dream about black-eyed Susan.
The plant or the
plant.
Okay.
So I am the florist in this, and I have two arrangements I made, and I already made the profit. Okay. And I'm delivering, and the train goes into an earthquake, and there's a wreck. So it is all like, you know, arrangement, had the delivery place and marked. So rescue team, I feel might have taken it and delivered. But my journey now begins to go down to the middle of the earth to figure out anything is left. Even if I come up empty-handed, I know I can not look back and regret that anything is left. Right. So it almost looks like my journey to the soul, which is very, very bizarre. You know, I don't know why I even had it. But afterwards, I realized like it is my Indian I had completed, my American I have completed. Now my journey is about, and when I went online, Black Madonna or Black-eyed Susan really is a Madonna black. Her face was all filled with sweat because in Poland, they used to go pray underground when they were attacked. So that through the faith, her face became black. And I was thinking, oh my God, and they have the same Black Madonna in India called Matangi. She's mother of flow, the life energy. So when you're frozen inside, the life doesn't flow. But to make the life flow, you need to accept good and bad in you. And that's how. So it feels like I need to complete that piece in me. So I was doing my journey inside, and I found the place I'm stuck is pregnant and abandoned. Because my husband called the police to just teach me a lesson when I was pregnant with my youngest one. And this was like in 2002.
Did you throw a bowl of ice cream at him? No. Did you throw ice cream and pickles at him?
No, because we were very strong personality. Even now, I'm still married to him. So I was telling him, I'm going to throw your ass out. And he says, I'm going to teach you a lesson. So he called the police. When they called first, they are the victim, and I was the abuser. So I became homeless that night. And at that time, I was in a fellowship in Brigham and Women, and my boss said, no way you're coming back to work. He says, you need to go see domestic violence. And they said, oh, you're in an abusive relationship. I said, I'm no women. I said, So I said, don't tell me that. I said, what? Give me the rules. I said, what do I need to do? They said, you need to be like a big bird. You cannot badmouth your husband. And they said, you need to come across very strong so they feel protected. I said, I can do that. So anytime he came here, I said, I need to protect my kids. He said, are you crazy? I said, that's what I have a funny teacher. He says to me, never get mad or even get awed.
Get on. When people say, are you crazy? I say, I don't know. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. I don't know.
So you need to get awed.
I need to get awed.
So this is what I do. I make a big deal of nothing. So he'll get very So in mythology, right, Ram and Sita, Do you know Rama? Like how
No.
say Mama Sita. They
Oh,
would say,
okay, yeah.
Sita, when she was pregnant, Ram abandons her. So I felt like, when I see even in ancient history, so I felt I could connect with her. So I'm thinking about her. And so she says to him, to Ram, they lived in the forest for 13 years because their family threw them out
Yeah.
because his stepbrother or half brother, his mom, wanted that guy to rule the kingdom. So he goes and the girl, his wife, Sita follows. And when he comes back, for some reason he sends her back pregnant. But I was thinking about her. But when they're forest time, she asked Ram to go get a deer. They sight a deer. And so he goes to get the deer. And the deer dies. And she thinks, because the deer actually, in the end, says, um, the word of his wife and it dies, or brother, I have no idea. So it's a pretentious deer. So she tells the brother, because the Ram's brother also travels. So she tells the brother, "Hey, go make sure your brother is safe." And he says, "No, my brother, I know he's very skillful. This is a false alarm."
Yeah.
And she refuses to believe it. So he says, "Okay, I'll put like a fire circle around you. Don't step out." And she says, "Okay," but then somebody comes and says they need food, and she steps out and she gets captured. So that's how she gets out. And the whole journey afterwards is to go find her. That's what he does. Then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like saying, you know what? The reason she wanted the deer is to eat the meat.
Eat the meat.
Because I'm like saying, why?
No,
why
to give it away. Stop eating the meat.
Because I'm like saying, how can a deer die when he's going to go get it for a pet, right?
Well, yeah.
So I'm like saying,
that's so funny.
So he actually abandoned her when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because she's a meat eater and he's a vegetarian.
And it was your dream with your husband. That is so funny.
I'm like saying, oh my God, I never put two and two together. But I'm saying I'm coming from a very sick place.
Yeah.
I'm going to give up me.
Don't give up me. You will have no more good stories. Honestly. Honestly, it's too funny. That is really, and there was a couple stories with you. Like, I mean, how, I can't remember now. My brain's going a mile a minute. I have to get my Adderall.
Which one?
Every which way. I'm telling you.
Which one you like?
Oh, I like all of them, but I like how there's consistencies in your stories. I can't remember the first one when I said it to you. You had talked about it before. There was a similarity, and then it was like the meat. It had gone like full circle. Like there's certain subjects that you talk to. You always have the theme. Yes, your stories somehow lead to being better, a natural healer, like healthy inside. It's
because I always tell philosophy as though I'm talking to my kids, because that's the way I'll tell them stories. Because I feel, what's the point in being like all like straight laced and stuff,
yeah,
like, have fun.
Yeah,
so
you do. You have, but what's funny, you're so educated and you're a very strong personality and everything, but you're so down to earth.
Nice.
You're real. You're not textbook. It's so nice, and you're like, I got arrested. Like, you're looking at you. I wanted to laugh in your face, like I know you know what I mean. Not trying to insult you, because your presence that you put out there, which you have to do, you would never know. So it's funny. Like, you never know. Never judge a person by who they are.
I actually had a 19-year-old girl.
And you said you own it. You tried, like, yeah.
So she came and she says to me, I had a very miserable day. I said, why? She says, my boss told me you're horrible. And I at work or something. She says, really? And he says, not all the time. And sometimes you're worse.
Yeah, that's good. That's right. That's right.
I almost laughed and I said, oh my God, let me, keep
But that's actually a good thing.
My face.
But people don't like strong. I have a strong personality. I don't lie. I say the truth. My therapist said to me, she goes, Heather, people need to brush things under the rug, have their little bubble, like those things to cope. She said, you're a very strong personality. Yeah, I'm two. She was like, two on. It's like, people can't deal with that. She goes, Oh, I forget now. See, look at my head going. I forget where I was going. There's something about you now. I gotta go. I'm seeing Marilyn after I see you. I just have so much going on. I can't. It's 8:30. I'm still not even. I'm sitting there 6:30 this morning. I go, how do I plan it to 12:30? Having a nice cup of coffee. I haven't even finished it. Between talking, running around, the chaos, the thinking. I have selling the house, the lawyer, trying to get my son's doctors going, like my motorcycle, like my mom's. Just so much stuff, and it's all crashing in. Yeah, and it's all important stuff, and yeah, and I'm just like so afraid things are just too good. Because I got my son back, he was doing horrible, and I feel, and now like this, so that's why I said therapy. It's like I've never been like this. It's unsettling, and I'm paranoid.
So I'm gonna give you back the theme for this week, okay?
I got it.
Positive Anonymous 12th step. So what
paranoia, that was me. I like paranoia. Positive 12th step.
Because what happens is every month is one step, right? October is month of 10th step, right?
What? The 10th step?
Yeah. Continue to take personal inventory.
Yeah, I know that one very well, yeah. That's like a daily thing. Continue, yeah.
See, the Positive Anonymous about keeping the right attitude. Like
I did the 12 and 12 a lot.
Behaviors. Unwholesome behavior, making it wholesome. That's all. Okay, instead of saying I'm alcoholic, narcotic, you're saying I'm unwholesome. Unwholesome. Wholesome is what? It's very simple. Wholesome behaviors is taken about from Susanna Wesley. It is whatever weakens your reason, impairs the tenderness of your conscience, obscures your sense of God, or takes off your relish of spiritual things. In short, whatever increases the strength and authority of your body over your mind. If you cannot control your mind, that thing is sin to you, however innocent it may be in itself. That's all. Okay. Unwholesome is like just take charge of your mind, because the mind is running you.
That's
right.
And
how does it run you? By using your body to get what it wants. So just to take up. So
I always say be true to yourself. I don't really have a lot of regrets. I always say be true to yourself, good, bad, or indifferent with the situation. You'll always have the better outcome. If people always say you're so happy and you don't have, I go, I don't really have demons like that, because I don't sway to people. You got to be true to yourself, and there's the best chances you have of having the best of a bad situation. You know what I mean?
So the way I'm going to rephrase it is, because we are taking personal inventory based on our past experience. Remember, I again and again came back to
that was positive.
Meat eating, because I'm hearing it as a meat eater, right? So like what I'm saying is my story is tainted,
right?
Because I'm lying, essentially, right?
Right.
So then I'll be offended when people call me liar, because I am telling a lie, not even understanding it's a lie.
Right.
So the theme for spiritual theme this week, I'm going to say is, that's what recovery coaching is about, and the theme is called RudraYoga. Rudra is the vibration, dum, 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 right? We hear everybody as music. What they speak, think of it this way. If I say F note, right, I'm gonna use a word, and that will click with you, which means stopping. It's F note, right? And that is F. But if in case you want a D note, it is I love you. See where the muscle originated. It's here. It's like liver and pancreas. That's F note, because we speak with our muscles, whereas the heart is we speak with our chest. So you need to understand where you're speaking from. Okay.
Rudra, heart, they say.
No, but like what I'm saying is Rudra is all vibration.
My nervous giggle, like,
this week theme is, right, the inner space that's cleansed of your past actions, which means I am speaking always as a meat eater. If I just say disconnect that space and think of it as a vegetarian in my speech, meaning like it's not what people give out, it's like me saying it in the most compassionate way.
So would it be like me being like codependent, like
no, sarcasm. See, essentially what it is, sarc is me, chasm is sarcasm. So what I'm doing is using a meat eater logic to speak, right? So if I can give up sarcasm for 1 day,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So then the divine power can be visualized in anything and everything. That's all.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
our theme is 10th step, which is personal inventory, and then you need to know where is it you're speaking from, which note. What is it? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it hurt? Is it jealousy? Is it pregnant and abandoned? Because I'm always coming from pregnant and abandoned. And I also know I'm also speaking from in a rich place too, as a lie, because I'm coming from a meditative perspective. So I really need to understand these are the two things I'm working on, and I need to really let go because I need to give birth to the idea that is not based on meat eating philosophy, but to release the birth of my child, which is based on compassion, right? So this is my theme, but you can develop a theme. This video I recorded between you and me, and I'm going to, do you have, like afterwards I'll take it down, but I'm going to get your email. Your homework is to watch this and come tell me what we discussed, because you said with A,
yeah.
you couldn't listen, right?
I know,
So I want you to listen to it enough so you recap it in a way that I understand.
Okay, that's great. I love this kind of stuff. Yeah.